So here's 10 books that I bought simply because I thought the covers were kick-ass. If you're like me, you can be conned by a book cover like a moth to a flame. And I don't really care what your story is about. Honestly, so many books I buy because of the cover alone. But here we go. A Marvelous Light. I'm really tired of fantasy series getting all the good book covers. They get the really intricate, beautiful book covers. I wish we could get that in romance novels, and this is kind of a marriage of the two. This is a romance novel in a way. It does have a little bit of that fantasy world thing. It reminds me a little bit of like the Cerulean Sea kind of romance. It's more about the story. Look how pretty it is. It's intricate and beautiful, and I wish we could get more of that. I'm kind of tired of the cartoony covers, and I know I'm not the only one. So Hush Hush. This is kind of an older book, but it's been on my shelves for a while. I did read it. It's okay. I love the cover though. I'm really into like fallen angel stuff right now, and I've been writing stuff about fallen angels and stuff. So it's been in my mind, and I remember when I was thinking of doing this as a series, I pulled this book because I forgot I had it. I was like, oh yeah, I loved this cover. I remember buying this specifically because I liked the cover so much, but then I read the book and it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It's a romance about a young girl who falls in love with a fallen angel. It's a little city of angels kind of thing, but it was okay. It's not as good as the cover though. And there's a lot of these that I'm going to be pointing out that I read and they weren't as good as the cover promised, but that's not what today's about. So The Fifth Child. This is a really old book. It's from the 80s. I've had it on my shelf for a really long time and it's kind of beat up. So I was trying to take the best picture of it that I could. Doris Lessing is a prolific writer. She's written a ton of stuff. This is a creepy book. It's very short. There's not a lot to it. You could read it in an hour or two. It's about a couple who has their fifth child and he is disturbed, to say the least. There's issues. There's definite issues. I love this cover. This was before AI. It was before even the internet. So that somebody had to sit down and really draw this out. And this is what came out of their mind. And it's really unique. It feels like a painting to me. So it's weird and disturbing and cool. And somebody read this book and this is what came out. And I thought I feel like we need more of this. We really do. A Fig for All the Devils. I bought this fairly recently, I want to say a few months ago, specifically because I thought this was such a funny image. I just thought this was so cool, and I really wanted this book to be good, but it really wasn't. It was not that great. It was okay. It won an award for being like a great horror novel. There's lots of praise for it, but I just didn't like it that much. I didn't finish it, so maybe I need to finish it and maybe my mind will change, but I read the first like 80 pages of it and I was just like, okay, DNR. DNR, do not resuscitate. Did not finish. So maybe I need to go back and reread it, give it another shot, because anyone who could come up with this cover deserves another shot, but it wasn't that great. It just wasn't. It didn't fulfill the promise of this. I thought this was going to be really funny, and it wasn't that great. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Sorry. The Power. This ended up becoming, I think this became a series on one of the streaming networks. I haven't seen it, but I did read the book. It's about a world where women develop powers at a certain point in their lives, and how men take that. It's pretty good. It's not fantastic. I would probably give this like a 3.5 star. But I love the cover. I thought the cover was really cool. It also, this book has something that I like, which is I don't expect anyone else to understand this, but I'm a texture person and I like the way the book feels. It has a porous texture. And some books will do that. They're not slick. They're more matte, or I do love books that have that kind of matte feeling. And so I liked holding this book when I was reading it. But I also love the coloring. I love the simplicity of this cover. I think it was great. Horror books tend to get the best covers. It's amazing. It's really unfair. We need to bring this into the romance world. Resistance. So I read this a while back. I had to really refresh my memory about what it was about. Kind of about the choices you make on how you respond to things and how that response can shape your world. So it's pretty interesting. It was an interesting book, but I love the cover. The cover was great. It's very simple, but it's very effective. For me, it was, at least. It's very effective. I love the elastics tightening around the book. It makes me very happy. Wallbanger. Okay, so I have not read this yet, but I bought it based entirely on this image. I was like, yeah, this is probably, if this book is even a quarter of how good this image is, plus the title is fantastic. It's a play on words. If it's even a quarter of, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be a great read. It's an older book. It's from like 2012 or 13 or so. I've never even seen it before. I saw it recently and I bought it recently. So I'm hoping to read it this month. But I don't know. I have a lot of horror books that I'm going to read this month because I want to review them. But come on, you can't tell me that isn't, exactly what kind of book this is going to be getting into it. And if it's not, I'm going to be really pissed. The Eyes of Iris. I just thought this was a trip looking at it. It was really cool to look at. Again, it's one of those, like, somebody had to draw this. This wasn't just, an AI Canva book cover. You know what I mean? At least I don't think so. It looks like it's something that someone really put time and effort into, and it matches the book as well. This was a really weird book. It was about a girl who has like an ayahuasca ceremony and goes into the future. That's what she sees when she does this. And when she comes down from it, she tells everyone what she saw in the future, and we have to decide whether or not she's telling it, is this real or is it not? But she's a genius, and so that's what really brought me to the book. But it's a short read. I mean, it's different. It's a different kind of book. I would recommend it, though. Interview with the Devil. This book I bought entirely. I didn't even look up the synopsis. I just, in the basket. That was it. It was in the basket the second I saw it. Unfortunately, I did read the book and it was not good. It wasn't horrible. It's just one of those things. I really hate when authors write books about authors. When the main character is a writer, I know, oh, this is going to be a Gary Stu all the way or a Mary Sue all the way. This is the author putting themselves into the character, whether they say that that's what they're doing or not, it is. Especially because they're always brilliant and they're always the best writers on the planet. And that's exactly what this is. He's, he doesn't seem to do anything special, but he's the best writer ever. And the devil has chosen him because he is exceptional. And the world just doesn't appreciate him and doesn't know. I'm like, okay, the author, that's literally the author talking about himself. That's what it felt like. And it's also part of a much larger series and I didn't know that when I bought it, which is nobody's fault but my own, but it's the first book in a series and it ends kind of like, which if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know I hate. So I don't know, it wasn't that great. I wouldn't recommend the book, but damn, if you want something cool on your shelf, that is awesome to look at. Come on. It's amazing. For somebody like me, that is a prime example because I love horror books, okay? But this is a prime example of your cover outshining what you've written, for sure. And finally, Catastrophist, which... come on, that's hilarious. This was a very interesting book. I would recommend it. It is an infuriating book, though. It's about a guy who kind of has everything going for him. Everything is working out in his life. He doesn't have any real issues. It's everything you kind of want in your life. And so he decides to completely destroy all of it. He wants to... He starts making decisions to purposely fuck up his life. And he does. He really does. And it was annoying to read, to be honest with you, but it's annoying in a way that like makes you think. So I would recommend it. All right, so that's the first 10, and those were in no particular order. I just chose 10 of the 20 that I pulled off my shelves for now, and and I'm going to give you another 10 later this week. Definitely put in the comments your favorite. I couldn't choose. I can't choose my favorite, but I can't choose my favorite book, really. I kind of have a favorite, and I've done a video about it in the past. But it's like choosing my kids. I couldn't choose a favorite book cover. I couldn't choose an absolute favorite book. I just couldn't. I couldn't choose a favorite song. I can't choose. I'm not good with that kind of decision making. So definitely put in the comments your favorite.